The internet spent 20 years creating tutorials, open source projects, blog posts, and answers for free. AI companies turned all of it into products worth billions. And now the same people who created that knowledge are being told that they're replaceable. We built the library. Someone else started charging admission. When I first came across that tweet, my immediate reaction was to think, nobody's really charging admission though. You can use these AI tools for free. You can ask ChatGPT practically any question you want, and it will provide you an answer, citing sources. You can plug in DeepSeek or Claude, Grok, and have them code entire programs and code bases for you. Many of these platforms allow you to generate images for free. I thought, well, the subscription is optional, so they're not really charging admission. Then I started using my brain and zooming out a little bit, and I remembered that a lot of things are systemic, and if something is free, then you are usually the product, or they just want you to get hooked on something, or they want to normalize something. It's pretty crafty, actually. You develop a technology by stealing the intellectual content and production of millions of people across several decades, if not centuries. And then you offer it for free with all these cool little applications that, on the surface, at the moment, make your life easier. It's flashy, it's convenient, and it's new. So quickly, it becomes normal. The rate at which people went from seeing AI as something confined to the realms of science fiction and philosophical daydreaming to quote unquote falling in love with AI chat partners, becoming delusional and entering psychosis because their AI chat app is just leading them down a rabbit hole of hallucination. It's become normalized extremely quickly. And so that's kind of fishy, right? The truth is that when something is presented as free, when it is given that label, often the cost is merely delayed or hidden or simply omitted from conversation in order to normalize the idea of something, while the person labeling it as free fully intends on profiting off of it in the future. So I've got this article from CNBC here titled, AI is now the leading reason companies give for cutting jobs. The article reads, U.S. employers announced just over 97,000 job cuts in May of 2026, according to a report released Thursday by outplacement firm Challenger, Gray and Christmas. The announced cuts represent the highest May number since 2020 at the start of the pandemic, according to Challenger's data. It's also the third straight month that layoffs have risen this year, up from the 83,387 cuts reported in April, 60,620 in March, and 48,307 in February. According to the report, which is based on company announcements of job cuts, employers cited AI as the primary reason for almost 40% of May's announced job cuts, up from 7% in January, 10% in February, 25% in March, and 26% in April. The May number brings the total announced job cuts attributed to AI in the first 5 months of 2026 to 87,714, up from 54,836 throughout all of 2025. AI is now the leading reason companies give for cutting jobs. Andy Challenger, Chief Revenue Officer of Challenger Gray and Christmas, said in the report. So that helps put into perspective the tweet that I started this video with. We, as a class of people, the working class, not billionaires, oftentimes not even multimillionaires, the working class, our mothers and fathers, us, the people that have to work 9 to 5 jobs for the billionaires and the multimillionaires, we put most of the information that these AI models have been trained on onto the internet in the first place. We didn't do it oftentimes to chase profit. Oftentimes we didn't do it to chase fame. A lot of it was just art, whether in the form of illustrations, music, movies, or just information, tutorials, open source, coding projects, etc. Things that were never intended to be licensed, things that were put out simply for the love of the game of life. And then those same billionaires that we slave away for, that we are forced to follow the rules of, saw all of that free information, saw all of that passion, those passion projects, and they said, let's create artificial intelligence. Intelligence in air quotes, because AI isn't actually intelligent, but that's a bit of a tangent. They saw all of that love and information that the working class put out, and then they trained these models on that information, on this public library of Alexandria. Also, they could stop paying you for health insurance and benefits at your job. Also, they could make 1% more profit. They made it normal. They dangled the keys in front of our faces. They said, hey, look at this, it's free. It does whatever you want, really. It's fairly accurate, usually. Google made it the very top of any search that you ever made. And now we're here. We are in phase 2 of the big AI plan. And maybe it'll come in phase 3 or 4 or maybe 5, etc. But I haven't seen any of these billionaires talk about how we're going to replace the incomes of these people that are being replaced by AI, trained on information that they put out for free. We were groomed for well over a decade, to start anticipating this in a much different light than it actually manifested in. We were essentially taught that when AI came along, when job automation came along, the tasks and jobs that it was going to automate were going to be the menial, manual, and tedious labor tasks that took away from our time as a class to work on art and music passions and interests. We're getting the exact opposite. These tech jobs that are being replaced at record numbers. Record numbers. AI replaced more jobs in May of 2026 than were cut at the start of the quarantines of a global pandemic. It's replacing art. I like to follow a lot of niche artists, you know, and the thing with art is you can see and feel the sort of characteristics or signature of the human mind and soul that created that art, you know? But the issue is people can't just create art at the speed of sound. They can't make 10 images in a minute. So when AI came along with image generation and whatnot, it quickly outnumbered these small actual artists. Okay, it quickly replaced artists. There's no such thing as an AI artist. There's simply not. There's no artist there. It's just code. It's just estimations built off the labor and art of actual people. So it's not doing your laundry. It's it's not saving you time so that you can get a degree for coding, which you love to do, and then go work in the tech industry. It is replacing your time in the spotlight as an artist, and it is taking your tech job away from you. It is taking your coding job away from you. And it's even affecting the video game market. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 used AI art without even disclosing it originally, until they were called out for it, that is. They used it in a lot of instances. For example, this calling card, you can see that the sleeve just abruptly ends out of nowhere. The hair is all random and inconsistent, spiky in some spots and completely smooth on others, random markings on the arm, and her index finger just kind of comes out of nowhere. You can see on this prestige icon that the zombie has 2 left sleeves, but only 1 right sleeve. And funnily, the the gun has an airsoft gun tip on it, little orange safety tip. Um, that's not gonna that's not very useful. That was clearly just generated with AI that has guidelines to not produce a picture of a real gun, perhaps. And the gun is just entirely missing a stock as well. The teeth are all random. It's slop. So you're telling me that the Call of Duty team doesn't have enough funding to pay actual human beings for art? They had to just produce soulless slop assets for their game. It, they just didn't want to pay somebody health insurance. They didn't want to pay somebody a worthy salary for the degree that they have. They didn't want to have to work out the licensing issues with the art that they produce. When it comes to cutthroat, money-hungry people, that's just uh, that's just like dusting, dude. That's like cleaning your own microwave, you know? And for them, that's like wiping their own ass. It's not worth their time. I remember when video games used to be nerdy, and video game teams were literally just teams of nerds working on a passion project brought to life, you know? And not to be a complete boomer when I say this, but video games were better when that's what it was. And then they became really profitable. They started becoming more mainstream. So corpos took over fairly rapidly. And then AI comes along, and those same corpos, you know, they just cut costs wherever possible. Um, there's no ethics or soul involved in it. It's just bag chasing. Now, there are countless examples that I could give. This video could go on forever. The reality is the video is already long enough, and I think I got my point across. We built the culture. They may try to write the rules, they may try to control the culture and guide it, but at the end of the day, we built the libraries, and now they're trying to burn those libraries down, replace them with AI slopified versions, and then charge you admission. So now it is more important than ever to just really say no to corporate AI. If you want to use AI to enhance your own life, to help you build your own business, to escape the rat race, the rat cage, then that's a good thing. That's a good use of AI. But AI art, these AAA companies that use AI, and these tech companies that are replacing actual human beings with AI models, it's time to boycott, really. Um, and it is that deep. It is that deep. Hmm. Look for the human in things. And if you don't find one, look at something else. That's pretty much it. See ya.